Friday, everybody. It is almost Friday here at the moment. I am recording really late on Thursday night. I think it is about 11 p.m. And it's the first chance I've had today to sit down and put a few stitches in. So I thought it was perfect opportunity to record this video, have a chat with you. So I hope you'll grab a drink and you're stitching. And if you're hanging out on the Facebook group tonight, Friday Off the Grid Facebook group, hope you'll share your progress. As you can see, I'm working on my modern folk embroidery mystery stitch along, and I'm still back in the month of February, but that is okay. This design is stunning, absolutely stunning. It's a 40 count R&R Reproductions linen that I'm using in the Patriots Brew colorway. And I'm using a silk floss from Vicki Clayton that's sadly discontinued. I just have to check. I think I just got a bit of a knot on the back. Oh, we're good to go. Vicki Clayton silk threads, discontinued, I'm very sorry to say, in the Zafra Cobalt colorway. Every once in a while, some of Vicki's threads show up on somebody's D-stash. I know I had somebody message me recently that there was some up for sale on eBay. Maybe it was eBay or Instagram. I can't remember. I'll be honest with you. I didn't look because I have low tolerance. My tolerance level is low for stash acquisition. Saying no to myself at certain times. And this is one of those time periods. And I just may have placed an order for some fabric from XJU Design a couple days ago. So my fun money, my disposable income has been spent for the next little bit on fabric. So I avoided looking at the floss that was for sale. Now, I avoided looking at Vicki Clayton's thread that was for sale, silk floss. However, that didn't stop me from possibly, maybe, ordering the Christmas set from Victorian Motto Samplers. I may have, fallen down at the same time that I bought the fabric from XJU Designs. So, but Nancy did such a good job on the thread for the kit, and I wanted to support her Christmas venture, and the colors are beautiful. So win-win. But that's it for me for spending for a little bit. Oh, wait a second. Have I gone too... Oh! Did you all watch me do that? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one's extra. Let's get rid of that. There we go. And all right, I'm going to pause you just for a minute while I rethread my needle here because I have to stick my hair right in front of the camera. There we go. Back on track. So this weekend is the last weekend in September. And that means that Sunday is high tea. Again, already. Time for another high tea celebration where we celebrate our new starts. And I'm going to try something a little different this month. I did a little post on the Facebook group earlier this evening, and I think I'm going to try a live video on YouTube. So I know I said I would never do it, and that's why I then always say never, because then you have to eat your words, basically. I'm eating my words. I don't have a lot of time this weekend, and I don't have enough time to record the video on Sunday, edit it, and get it up. And I don't like to do the Sunday videos early because that's not really the point to me. I want to celebrate on the Sunday itself. I want to celebrate that new start. And as soon as I film that video about the new start, I want to start it. But the way, it would be cheating to me if I started it early. So in order to resist temptation, I like to film that video on the actual correct day. And I don't have enough time on that Sunday to do that. So I'm going to try a live video. And I don't know how well it's going to go, because I have a very bad habit of not paying attention to what I'm doing in the best of times, easily distracted. So we're just going to see how it goes. There we go. Just trying to eke this floss out to just do these last few stitches here. There we go. 2 more. You can do it. So I'm going to do Sunday's video live on YouTube on my channel, and it's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 7 o'clock p.m. my time. And I hope you'll join me. And I'll share my new start. We'll all have a cup of tea together, and you can tell me what you're starting. And I will do I might have to read all of the comments after the video loads, because otherwise, I don't know. I find that difficult because I feel like I'm missing stuff when the comments are coming in, and I want to chat with you too. But then, everybody else is commenting at the same time as well. So let's all have a cup of tea together, and maybe you'll chat with each other in the comment fields, and you can share with each other what your new starts are, and we can all have a cup of tea and get excited about celebrating our new start. I know I have an awful lot of needles on my needle minder there. I don't know why. Can't explain it. Just is. Okay, so here we go. Where's my end? I've lost my end. Wait a sec. Oh, this was the one that I tucked under there. That's right. I'm using the wrong one. This is the one. Well, they look the same. I'm trying to use, sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a moment. I'm trying to use mostly my silks in this design. I had a lovely viewer send me a spool of matching Vicky's Floss in this colorway because it's highly likely I'm not going to have enough of my own. So I've been trying to be very frugal with hers and mostly use mine and just insert hers every once in a while, mostly, in case to cover any dye lot issues, which, there's a very, very subtle difference, but they're close enough and they look beautiful together. But I'm trying to be sparing with it so that I can send her back. I hope to send her back almost as much as she sent to me because Vicky's thread is a treasure, and she should really have that back. Let's see. So the reason why I don't have a lot of time on Sunday is because we are taking a trip, a little weekend getaway, and we're going to Chicago. My husband's business partner has a very special milestone birthday in a couple of weeks. And so his wife and myself and John, we are surprising him with a trip. And so we're going to drive so that it's affordable, gas for when you split a tank, let's face it, a few tanks of gas, and you drive down. It's not too bad. I think it's about 8 hours drive for us, and we're just going to go and hang out in Chicago. He loves that city, and John wanted to do something really special for him. They've been best friends since high school. And his wife, this is a funny story, and I don't know if I've told you this story before yet. So John's business partner, they were best friends in high school. And the girl that I was best friends with in high school, I had a group of close girlfriends, but one of my closest girlfriends, we introduced them to each other, and they got married. So I get to hang out with my friend, who I don't get to spend a lot of time with anymore because she works full time and I work full time, and you know what happens, life just gets busy. I'm going to tack this down in the back because I don't want to carry it all that far. Tack it down there. So we're going to drive down. We're leaving first thing tomorrow morning, and we're coming back on Sunday. So it's a very short, quick trip. And I said, John wanted to know, what do you want to do? And I've heard that there is, I've been to Chicago once before, but I didn't see the zoo. And apparently there's a free zoo that there's a walking path that goes right through it. So I told John that I wanted to go to the zoo. So we're going to take Peter, that's John's partner. We're going to take him out for dinner. And then we're going to go to the zoo at some point. And other than that, I don't know what we're going to do. I think we're just going to be tourists for the weekend and just wander around and look at all the sights and just have a good time. So my father-in-law is staying here with the kids and the dog so that they are cared for and happy, and it's going to be an adult weekend. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And yes, I already have my projects packed. You knew that, right? I mean, isn't that what we all do? My friend is not, my girlfriend, Peter's wife, is not a crafter. She's not a stitcher. She's not a knitter. But she knows that I am. So I don't think it's going to be unusual for her to see me working on stuff in the car. I've got my knitting packed for the car. And then I have, because we're only gone for a short amount of time, and most of the time that we're there, we're going to be spending with our friends, I didn't want to take too much. But, you always think, oh, well, what if I finish that and then I run out of things to do? I better take that. So I have 2 knitting projects. My cowl that I'm doing as a knit along with the Fiber Friends, and my socks, my new socks that I'm working on for the sock tutorials. Those are my 2 knitting projects. And then I also packed my mini cheesecake dessert, the Glendon Place desserts piece, because it was already all tucked away in its project bag, ready to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. 4. There we go. So 3 projects, and I should be able to get most of my knitting done. In fact, I'm having that feeling like I don't have quite enough knitting for the car, because that's a lot of driving time. And I can't go too far on the socks because I need them at a certain point for the sock tutorial. So I can't go past a certain point. So I think I'm going to have to, and I can't stitch in the car. I wish I could. I know lots of you are able to stitch in the car and can do it quite easily, but I really struggle with seeing the needle properly. It's, just the most slight little bounce, and I just lose my spot and I can't see very well. Knitting I can do very easily, but cross stitch, not so much. But that's okay. But so I do think I'm going to take a 3rd knitting project. I think that's only wise, don't you? Better to have too much than not enough. Because heaven forbid I should run out of craft projects to work on. That would not be good. And it was definitely the first thing that I packed. In fact, it's the only thing I've packed. Oh, it is the only thing I've packed. As soon as I've done this video, I'm going to get it exporting, and then I'm going to go and pack the rest of my stuff. Nothing like leaving it to the last minute. Oh well. It's only a couple of days. It's not like I have to take a lot of stuff. And frankly, my projects were more important to me, figuring out what I was going to work on when I was in the car. All that lovely knitting time. Where am I here? So I need those 2 in the middle. Oh, this is so pretty. What I really like about this mystery Sal is that there are lots of other people just like me who are still, way behind. I even had somebody leave me a comment on Instagram, and she's still back in January. And that just makes me really happy. As I struggle with stitch alongs where I am so far behind and everybody has left me in the dust. And I think, why do you do this to yourself? Why did you join another stitch along? Because Caroline always has fear of missing out. So I have to join all of the stitch alongs. But then, I have so many projects on the go. And the way my personality is, if I don't feel like working on something, then I won't. Yeah, up there. But anyway, it's been nice that there's lots of other people at completely various stages of the game with this piece. I think my prescription has changed again. My eyes. I'm not sure. Either that or my eyes are just getting older. When I recorded Monday's Floss Tube episode, when I was getting ready, I picked up my Ginger Gerald pattern, my Stories of the North heron pattern, and I thought, I'll just put one stitch in. And then, I'll just finish this thread. And when I didn't, I thought, I'll just cut that video out at the beginning, and just, edit it out so that there isn't, footage of me just stitching at the beginning. But then when I was editing it, it was so funny how I was looking over top of my glasses to see my linen. And I thought, I'm going to have to just leave that in because I do like to poke fun at myself. There we go. Yeah. So speaking of Ginger Gerald's Stories of the North, most of you know that this is a series. So I will hopefully be finished my first part of his design on early next week. That's the plan. And then he is supposed to be releasing part 2 next week. Now, part 2, I don't have anything to do with the other 4 parts of his design. He will be releasing those himself on his Etsy store, on his Etsy shop. Oh my gosh, isn't that beautiful? I love that so much. And all I have left to do are these 2 matching little bits, and then this triangle is complete. Oh, love it. Okay, so where am I going? 2, 3, 4. Is that 4? Yeah, 4 over. Side. That, okay. I've been very economical with this silk because it's it's a bit precious to me. Oh, that didn't work, did it? Try that again. This thread is precious to me, and I want to use every last scrap of it. So I've been fairly careful with how much I use and using it right up to the very end. 3, 4. Yeah, that's right. There. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just a smaller version of the motif here. Everything is symmetrical. So I'm not really looking at my pattern. I'm mostly following the opposite side for direction. I love things that are symmetrical. 2, 3, 4. Designs. I tend to gravitate towards the ink circles and the Glendon Place designs, like the dessert series, the tiramisu, red velvet, baked Alaska, those patterns that are symmetrical just make me very, very happy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Finally got rid of my cough that I had. That cold virus that I got a few weeks ago, second week of school, really was a nasty bug. And it just seemed to last and last and last. So even when the cold was gone, left me with a pretty nasty cough for a little while. But fortunately, today, I'd say yesterday. Yesterday was the first day that I really felt like myself again. You know what I mean, right? When you feel like the cold has dragged on long enough and you still just don't feel like yourself. This is not right. Or can I do that one there? Yep. No, this isn't right. Is my cross? Okay, hold please. Okay, disaster averted. I was about to have the top leg of my stitch going the wrong way. Now, it really wouldn't have made that big of a difference or a deal, but when it was only the one stitch that I had to fix, might as well fix it. And I think, I'm not sure. Yeah, I can keep going here for a little bit. 3, 4, 1. All right, one more. There we go. So if you're familiar with the Chicago area, one thing that John and I really like to do when we travel somewhere new is we love to find a really cheap diner for breakfast. So if you have any recommendations for a place to eat breakfast in Chicago that has good food, good coffee, and that sort of diner-esque, old-fashioned vibe, leave me a comment. And maybe I'll get it in enough time for Saturday breakfast, which would be really fun. Though, since I guess the birthday boy is going to be there, we might have to go with what Peter wants to do. But maybe I can lead him one way or the other. We'll see. Okay. I think I'm going to have to thread that in. There we go. Okay. I think that's it for me. It is now officially very late, and I have to get some sleep after I pack my bag. And then we've got a long car ride tomorrow. So I wish you all well. Let's have one more look at my amazing piece here. It is so beautiful. I can't get over how beautiful this is. This is going to be a treasure on my wall. I love it. If you've been considering joining in with this one, you will not regret it. Not one bit. It is such a fun stitch, and watching it come to life is a treat. It's a real treat. Okay, so happy Friday off the grid. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you on Sunday if you join me, Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a high tea where we can have a cup of tea and I'll have a chat together. Happy stitching.